Okay, good morning, everyone. I hope that you guys had a great night and a good sleep, feeling fresh and awake for today. And of course, the weekend is approaching, so we have a good time to rest and relax. I hope that you guys are also getting prepared for your return for those who are coming back. Okay, today yesterday we finished covering the four factors of production. We discussed them. We discussed what they mean, how some of them are different than others, the importance of entrepreneurs in the economy. We discussed what land is, what capital was, and we also discussed what labor is, or and the things affecting labor. Okay, so in these terms, we are going to move on today, and we're going to cover the production possibility curve. Okay, the production possibility curve is a very basic concept. Okay, it's very easy to understand. It's a graph, okay, or like a curve, as I would like to say, and it is basically showing the possibilities of a certain thing. I'm going to discuss this with you more in detail, but I need you to start. We need to have our books open because I'm going to show you a graph here, but it's not the same graph like the book. Okay, so I'm going to give you a chance to get that together. All right, so open up your books to page 16, your textbooks. We're going to need them. All right. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to share with you guys a small PowerPoint that I enjoy. I like using it. It's not related to the book, it's from a different book, but I like using it because it's very explanatory. Okay, first of all, we have to think, okay? We're still discussing producer, okay? So we're still discussing the idea of a producer. We have not yet moved to consumers, okay? So as a producer, your job is to basically produce, okay? To make things, all right? And the book here wants you to imagine this made up country or city called Alpha, okay? It doesn't only have to be a production of a nation or a country or a city, it could be even a company, all right? Let's say, for example, Ahmed Rashwan has a company and he wants to produce two different goods, okay? Uh, Maybe he wants to produce one good. But usually, companies, when you start producing, you don't only focus on one product. Maybe you want to add an additional product. Like, for example, maybe he wants to produce cars, but at the same time he also would like to produce a clothing line. Okay, so here you're dealing with what you're dealing with two types of goods. All right, so Ahmed Rashwan or Alpha, whichever one you want to go by, okay, they are looking to produce more than one good. Okay, usually with the production possibility frontier, we're dealing with two different products, not more than two. Okay, so two different products, you're looking to produce two different products. Now, let's think about resources. We agreed yesterday that producers, when they come to produce a certain product or a service, we use the factors of production. Okay, factors of production go into your production process. Now, if we think about it, resources or these factors of production, they are very limited. Okay, our resources are limited. Okay, so the resources that Ahmed has, they're not so many. They're not never ending. These resources are bound to end. So Ahmed has to decide how is he going to divide these resources among his products. Okay, so the production possibility frontier gives you an idea of how could you, or the different possibilities of how you could divide your resources and how your production would look like. Okay, so let's look at this again. Let's look at the definition. It's called a production possibilities frontier, or we could use and say a production possibilities curve. All right, because your curve, the graph, when you go and plot it, in your graphing paper, which I hope that you guys have from math or something. If not, you need to get some, okay? The graphing paper, the one with the little tiny boxes, okay? So we need to get this paper because from now on, we're going to be doing a lot of plotting and graphing, not only here, but in other things, okay? So that was one of your supply list items. If not, please purchase it, okay? Even if you're staying at home, you're going to need it. All right, so again, we can call it a PPF or a PPC, a production possibilities frontier or curve. What does it do? It shows us the different combinations of goods that can be produced and those that cannot be. What do I mean? And again, we're focusing at two goods at a time. It'll be best to look at this chart, okay? If we look at this chart, we have two goods that this company, Alpha, all right, or this nation or this country is looking to produce. Ahmed Rashwan is going to produce pizza, and he's also going to produce CDs. Okay, these are the two goods that Ahmed wants to focus on. These are the two goods that he is willing to produce from his company. Now, again, the goods and services, we need to use factors of production. Factors of production are limited, okay? So the production possibilities for Ahmed are the following, okay? If he decides to produce 0 pizza, he will be able to produce 15 million CDs. Remember, these are in millions, okay? All right, if the second part, this is the first possibility, and when we graph it on our graph, like you guys see, it'll be point A. Point A on the curve, or the possibility of the production possibility curve, or the frontier, is going to be point A. If we go back to point B, if Ahmed decides to produce 1 million pizzas, he's going to have to produce 14 million CDs. Now, what happened to the price of CDs? Who could tell me? I mean, not the price, but what happened to the production of CDs? Who could tell me what happened to the production of CDs? The more pizzas he's producing, what's happening to the production of CDs? Luigi.
Decreases.
It decreases. Good. And why? Does someone have an explanation for that? Why is the production of, in order to produce more of one good, the production of the other good has to decrease? Why? Why can't we still increase the other product as well? Nada, please.
To maintain the budget.
Because, say that again, baby.
To maintain the budget.
To maintain the budget, okay? Okay, you have a budget, but the budget here, like, we are more concerned with the idea of what? Resources, okay? Resources will not allow you to produce more of one good while at the same time producing more of the other, because you're dealing with a limited supply of your resources. This production possibility curve shows you what you're capable to do with the resources that you have. Remember, you don't have the potential or the idea to add more resources because this is what you have. This is what you're dealing with. It's like when I give you a certain ingredients and I say you have to bake me cakes out of this ingredients. You're gonna keep going, baking and baking and baking until you run out of flour, until you run out of butter and milk. Okay, when your resources are finished, can you still give me cake? You can't. Unable to bake me more cakes because your resources, those ingredients that I gave you, are finished. And this is exactly the situation with the company. Okay, the companies, all right, or producers, they have a limited supply of resources. Okay, so in order for you to produce efficiently, what does efficiently mean? When you're producing efficiently means that you're utilizing all your resources. You're not leaving any resources left over. You're working and you're producing until all your resources are consumed to the last bit and piece of it. Okay? And that's why when you're producing 0 pizzas, you can produce 15 million CDs. But if you're going to decide to produce more pizza, the number of your CD production is going to have to drop, because again, what are you doing? You're taking some of the resources from CDs and you're shifting them to the resources of pizza. Okay, so here your resources are not, you cannot devote them entirely to CDs. Now, pizzas is going to share the resources. So pizzas are going to consume a portion of your, factors of production. Therefore, you have to lessen your production of one in order to produce more of the other. If you see, if we move to point C, you're producing 2 million pizzas, but then your production of CD has to drop even further because now pizzas are consuming an even bigger portion of your production. Okay, and now you have to give up more CDs. All right, same concept with point D and E and F. All right, if you look at F, you're optimizing pizzas alone and you're producing none of the CDs. You have zero production of CDs. So here we have what we call, these are the different types um, of production possibilities. All right, Peter, you have a question?
Yes, miss, I entered a little late because my phone was dead. So, like, can you revise quickly on the first slide or the main topic?
Sure. Okay, sure. Nada, do you still have a question?
Yes. No, I didn't have a question.
Okay, baby, thank you. Okay, so again, for Peter, really quick, what we're discussing today is what we call the PPC, or the production possibilities curve, or we could also call it the production possibilities frontier. You'll see the book even using the word frontier sometimes, so you need to be acquainted with both, okay? What the production possibility curve teaches you or shows you that as a company or as a producer, you might not be want to focusing on producing one good, Peter, okay? You might want to produce more than one. And usually with the production possibility curve, we're focusing on two goods at a time, okay? So if Ahmed Rashwan has a company, he's producing pizzas and cars and clothing, computers and laptops, okay? So two goods at a time. Now, what the production possibilities frontier does is that it provides you first with a table, okay? And it gives you, it doesn't give you these points, you add them, but I'm putting this for the, or they're providing you this for the sake of explanation, all right? This is going to be given to you as a chart, and you're going to have to plot them, okay? And they're showing you the different possibilities of what you could produce while being efficient, okay? And keyword here is efficient, all right? And what I mean by efficiency here is, all right, by being efficient, it means we achieve production efficiency if we cannot produce more of one good without producing less of another. All right. So being efficient here means that you are optimizing or you're using all of your resources. You have nothing left over. Okay. Like the example that I gave you with the ingredients of the cake. I gave you lots of ingredients and I said bake as much cake as you can with these ingredients. You're going to keep going and going and going until you finish all your ingredients and then you can stop producing. Now here you have been efficient because you have not wasted any factors of production. Okay, you have not wasted any ingredients. You have used the least and every bit of it in order to produce a good. Okay, and this is what the production possibilities curve is telling you. All right, that as long as you're on the curve, you are efficient. You are efficient. So if you're at point A, you're using all your resources to produce 50 million CDs while producing zero pizzas. Okay, if you move to point B, you're producing, okay, you're producing less, all right? If you look here, we're producing 1 million of pizzas, but we're producing 14 million CDs, okay? So you're producing more of one product, but you have to give up some of the other, okay? Because again, your resources are limited. They're shared resources, okay? These resources or your factors of production are shared, okay? You cannot, you cannot keep going. You cannot produce more of the other product because now there's a share of pizzas that is consuming your factors of production. Now, if you look at this curve, you guys could tell that the slope of this curve is negative slope, okay? A negative slope is a curve that is going downward, okay? And this here shows you that it's very significant, and it helps you. It gives you a hint that you're going to be moving down the curve. Okay, so you're going to be decreasing in production, not increasing in production. Okay, so again, the slope of this curve is a negative slope. It shows that we're going to be moving downward, or we're going to be decreasing production. All right, if we go up, if we produce more of one good, we're going to produce less of another. Okay, so here at point B, we produced 1 million pizzas, but we produced less CDs. Again, same with C. You produced more and more pizza, 2 million pizzas, but again, you dropped down to here 12 million CDs. All right. So these are the points of production. All right. So again, the production possibilities curve, or the frontier, it shows you all the possible ways that you could produce two different goods at the same time. Okay. All these are possibilities. And as a company, you choose what's best for you. But all these points on the curve, what we need to know, they are efficient. They are efficient. That means that you are doing a good job. If you're producing any of these possibilities, you're doing a good job because you are producing efficiently. And it means that you're utilizing your resources. All right? So when you're efficiently producing, it means that you're reaching your full production potential. Again, you're reaching your full production potential. You're utilizing all the resources. None of your resources are idle. And idle means unused or left over or wasted. Okay? So let's look about other points in the curve. All right? They have provided a point of Z. If we look at this point, all right? And if we read the graph, it's approximately 5 million CDs and 3 million pizzas. Now, here, it says this point, all right? What does it mean when you have a point of production that lies under or below the curve? It means that you're not being efficient, okay? You're not efficient in terms of what? In terms of that your resources are not being fully employed, all right? You still have leftover resources that could still be utilized, but you're not using them. So your resources are laying there idle. You are wasting resources. You're not reaching the full capacity or the full potential of production. Okay? So again, you need to understand the point inside the curve. Point Z inside the curve. What does it tell you about this company? Okay, it tells you that Ahmed Rashwan's company is not doing a good job at being efficient. All right, if you're only producing 5 million CDs while you're producing 3 million pizzas, it's saying that you are not utilizing. It's what we call underutilization. All right, this is your factors of production are idle. They're laying there, not being used. So your company is not achieving to its full potential and full capacity. Okay, you're basically wasting resources. All right. What about if we go to any point outside the curve? And here we say that it's unattainable. All right. Let's say, for example, if our curve reached 6 million pizzas and, for example, 20 million CDs. All right, outside the curve. So it's outside the curve of any point anywhere in this white area where it says unattainable. All right, that means that Ahmed Rashwan's company is unable, okay, to reach this point because there isn't enough resource, okay? The company does not have enough resources to reach this high of a production. So this is out of your league, okay? This is unattainable because, again, you do not have quite the resources to reach this point of production. Okay, so again, your perfect scenario as a company is to follow the curve because all these different points show that you are being efficient. All right, but again, you have to be careful with the option of opportunity costs or a trade-off. All right, and we're gonna get into that in another time on Sunday. All right, in class, and then I'm gonna make a video about it for you guys that are doing online learning. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about opportunity cost and trade-offs in another time because I don't want to confuse you. I just want you to get acquainted with the idea of what a production possibility curve looks like. What does it do? Okay, it tells the company or it shows a company the different possibilities of production that it could go through. Okay, but again, at the same time, as a company, you're dealing with limited amount of resources. All right, your resources are limited. That means you cannot go and produce as much as you like. All right, when you produce more of one good, you have to give up. Okay, this is your trade-off. You have to give up some of the other resource of the production of the other good. All right, and that's why you see that the curve, the slope of it is downward. It's a negative slope, showing there's a decrease in the production of one good in order for you to increase the production of the other good. Okay, and this is what your production possibilities frontier or curve shows you. Okay, again here the points A, B, and C, and D, and E, and F are attainable. That means we can do them. They're showing efficiency. And by efficiency, I mean that you're utilizing all of your resources, okay? You are reaching full production potential, all right? Any point inside the frontier, such as Z, is inefficient. Remember that, okay? Inefficient means that your resources are left idle. You're underutilizing your resources, okay? Some of your factors of production are not being used. Okay, so you as a company, you're not being so efficient when it comes to production. All right? Any point outside the curve, all right? All right, any point outside of the curve is what we say unattainable. All right. Z, your resources are either unemployed or misallocated. All right. So misallocated unemployed means you're not using them. Misallocated, maybe that you're putting them in the wrong places, or the way that you're producing is not basically efficient. All right. So this is what we said earlier regarding point Z inside the curve, and regarding any point that is outside the curve. It could be point here, 6 million, and 20 million CDs and 6 million pizzas. This point would be unattainable. All right, we cannot, as a company, reach this production. All right, here we discuss efficiency, and here we're discussing the concept of the trade-off. All right, the trade-off is basically you have to give up some to get more of another good. All right, so this is basically what your curve looks like. Again, negative sloping. The arrows are going down, and it shows that your production is decreasing. All right. If you guys go on your SMS as we speak, you guys will see that I have posted for you a homework assignment uh, um, regarding this topic. So if you may do me that favor and please log into your SMSs and go to lesson 2. Okay, I'm gonna log into SMS with you. Smart School. Anyone having a problem with Smart School, just raise your hand and tell me what is it that you are facing. If you're facing any problem, it's easy because it could be easily handled through pretty much just posting it on Facebook for you. Okay. All right, so if you guys are there, how many people went into SMS successfully? If you did, please just raise your hand and let me know. Good, okay. Did you guys find the sheet? Good, okay. Ahmed Mata, can you please tell me if you went on SMS, did you find the sheet?
Did you post it now, Urs?
No. I didn't post it now. I posted it last night.
I will look 1 second.
Please go on SMS, guys, and check. All of you, not only Ahmed, because I need you guys to see if it's there. Yes, it's called the Production Possibility Curve Worksheet. Okay, and this is how it looks. I'm going to share the screen with you to see how it would look.
Miss, this sheet is homework.
This sheet is homework.
When is it due?
Due on Sunday upon your arrival to school.
Okay.
Okay, if you guys are coming physically, you're gonna hand it in physically. If not, you guys are gonna submit it like the way that you guys attach it and
Okay, so Miss Yasmin, so this is due on Sunday, and then we have the other assignment on Wednesday.
that is
That's
correct.
What is the other assignment? What's the other assignment?
Say that again.
What is the other assignment?
The other assignment is the writing assignment that she's referring to about your entrepreneur. Okay, you guys will find it also on SMS. I took a screenshot of the screen and I posted it. If you go on SMS under my library in lesson 2, you guys will see all the worksheets that we did. The factors of production worksheet, the entrepreneur assignment with the questions that you have to answer, and this product possibility curve practice homework. Now let's look at the worksheet so that you guys would be able to do it, okay, and not struggle over the weekend with it. All right. So again, we need graph paper. If you don't hand it in on graph paper, it's going to be at 0, unacceptable. I'm not taking it. I'm not even looking at it. Okay. So please use graphing paper, the graphing paper that you use for math. Okay. The ones with the small boxes. You can even print them online. If you go and put graphing paper, PDF or something, you guys can get them. All right. So here, let me show you graphing paper PDF. All right, if you go here and you type graphing paper or free, a printable graphing paper, you guys can see it. Okay, let me show you here on the screen. I Googled. This is exactly what I Googled. If you don't feel that you want to go outside and buy some, you could use here. What I did was, this is it. I went on Google and I typed graphing paper PDF. All right, and I clicked the first link here, this one, and they give you options of whatever grid you want. You can print it, okay? Whatever grid, I don't care. This grid is actually perfect. Okay, you can print as many of them. You can print them back to back to conserve paper, okay? And have like a bunch of them, okay? You can even divide this paper in half per question, okay? You're not gonna use this whole entire paper for one question because it's
The sheet is on the SMS.
Say that again?
The sheet is on the SMS I found.
Okay, perfect. All right, good. All right. So again, this is your graphing paper that you need to work on or do your homework on. Please get the book, a notebook from the stationery shop, or download it from the computer here. All right, Peter. Yes.
Miss, so like the total things we have to do is the assignment and this sheet.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, if you handed in the factors of production sheet, which you did, you emailed it to me last night. That means you're now just focusing on the entrepreneur assignment, and you have to do these 2 problems, which are very, very simple. They're basic baby work. Okay, and that's it. Yes. Okay.
Okay, Miss,
So
the graphing paper. Okay, the graphing paper I can take a picture of it and send it to you like in picture. Doesn't have to be like typed.
that would be correct because you have to do this manually. This is not something that you could that you're going to be able to do. Well, you could be able to do it. I'm not saying you're not capable. You are, but please do it manually with your hands and pencil, ruler, and all that good stuff. Okay, because you have to, also label your x-axis and your y-axis, just like the production possibility frontier that we saw in the PowerPoint. That's how I want it to look like. All right, code it. All right, put a label on what the x-axis is and what is your y-axis is, your points on the curve, and answer the following questions that are provided with each question. Now, here we're looking at on a separate sheet of paper. Of course, you're going to use your graphing paper and you're going to use this, okay? Now, the types of production here, you're producing butter and guns, okay? Very weird, but okay. Okay, so here you have butter and here you have gun. If this is not aligned properly, just move it a little bit so that it is. All right, this is point A, this is point B, C right here, okay? D and E. All right. If it looks weird, just play with it. Play with it so that it's aligned properly. Sometimes the alignment just goes off. Okay? There's no need to be confused. Like what I'm doing. You guys see what I'm doing?
Yes.
All right, good. Okay. So now you're producing butters and guns. Okay, as a company, you are doing both things. All right. At point A, you're gonna graph 0 butter, 50 guns. So you're focusing all your production on the guns with no production of butter. All right. Now here you're producing more butter. You're producing 10 units of butter, and you're producing 40 units of guns. All right. So what's happening here already is that you're seeing a decrease in the production of guns, because the more you produce of one thing, you have to trade off or give away something from the other products. All right. The questions here: label the points where the economy would be efficient, A, okay, underutilized, B, and unattainable, C. All right. So here I want you to just remove these and just tell me which units I want you to put your own. All right. So don't use the A, B, and C here, but I want you to label your graph the way that you want it. So after you do your curve and after you finish, your curve using points A, B, C, D, and E, I want you to look and tell me which are on the curve. Remember, as long as you're on the curve, you are efficient. And then I want you to think of a point that it shows underutilization and a point that shows unattainable. And I want you to label them on your curve and just give them a random letter. Okay? Maybe one of these are unattainable or underutilized. Okay? Find out. All right? Do your homework and see. If all of these are on the curve, that means that they are efficient. Some of them might be not on the curve. So we'll see. You have to kind of like do your homework first and find out. If one of them are, then you, yes.
For this part, like, shall we just give letters and then write a key box on what each letter means?
Yes, you're going to, for example, if it's underutilized, you're going to code it on your graph. Yes, Yakuta, good question. Okay, so if you gave underutilized K, then you would put K, okay, under where it would be underutilized, all right, inside the curve, like Z here. And you would explain that this point is the point of underutilization, all right, because it shows that your resources are being idle or being wasted. Okay, they're unemployed. All right, then you would give another point for unattainable. And we all know that unattainable is outside the curve, all right? So as long as you're on the curve, you're being efficient. You're maximizing your production, okay? You are producing you're utilizing all your resources efficiently. Unattainable, you do not have enough resources to go in this area, okay? This is unattainable, you can't do it. You don't have enough resources to produce here, okay? So this is what you're gonna have to mark for homework and unattainable. Now from C to D and E, it's just a very basic math question, okay? Asking you, what is your opportunity cost? And remember, your opportunity cost is what you had to give up. I still didn't explain what the idea of opportunity cost is, because there's a lot of explanation behind that. But it's easy for you to know that you're giving up something, that something that you're giving up is your opportunity cost. Okay? So please make a little note of that, because I'm not going to answer that question later on. All right? C, D, and E.
For example,
Yes, can you repeat C again?
Okay, C, they're asking you to calculate the opportunity cost from moving from point A to B. Now, if you're moving from point A to B, you're here, you're in this zone, okay? what is your opportunity cost? What have you given up? All right, so again, they want you to calculate what you gave up. So what is it that you gave up?
10 gun.
Say that again.
10 guns from.
There you go. 10 guns. Bingo. Thank you. That's
Okay.
it. Very simple. This is like the easiest thing. It's like baby work. All right.
Yes.
Now they're asking you to calculate the opportunity cost for moving from B to C. Now from B to C, oops. Oh, okay. From B to C, you're in this zone, okay? And you're again increasing the production of butter, but then again, okay, because
Giving up also
you have an opportunity cost, so it would be what?
giving up 10 guns.
Another 10 units of guns. Good job.
Yes.
All right. And the same concept goes from D to E. You're in this zone now. You have shifted your production of butter to increase. All right. But again, you have decreased. So what is your opportunity cost here? Anyone?
10 also from what D to E 20.
20. Okay, you gave up all of it. All right. Good job. All right. So again, you're looking at from one point to the other. You're not going to be, some people did 50. No. All right. It's one from one point to this. You're in this area. Focus on this area only. Do not go from to the beginning of the production. All right. And this is it. Very simple. I helped you guys with this one a lot. So you guys should still do it. All right. But again, you're doing the second one on your own with robots and wheat. Okay. So if you're producing robots and wheat, show me what you have. Again, delete these C's and whatever, or leave them. I don't care. But again, first graph this and see how it looks. And then if it's any of them are inefficient, tell me if unattainable, which one it is. And just play with it and see how it comes out. Show me. If you have any questions, please message me. I'll be available to answer all your questions, inshallah. Thank you guys for paying attention. And I hope that you guys understand everything. And if you have a question again, message me. It's all on SMS. Don't forget, it's due on Sunday. Enjoy your weekend. We have less than 1 minute. Any questions before I end the meeting?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, guys. All right. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.